Mm-mm-mm. And we are live. What's going on, art enthusiasts and change makers? This is another episode of Art for Change podcast. Today is Therapeutic Thursday. Man, we got a special guest in the house tonight. But before we get into that, let's talk about my co-hosts. But me first, I am Mr. Sapiosexual, and my co-host.
You already know it's your boy BU, because that's all you gotta do is be you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, had a Marshall in the building. What's up, man? Had
Good, good.
yes. Montana Cobain. What's up, player?
What's going on? You know, it's your boy, Mr. 4th of July.
Mr. 4th of July in the building. Lady Alba, how you doing, Queen?
Doing the do. How y'all
I know
doing?
that's right.
Doing the do. Bless, and highly favored. Bless and highly favored. But
That's
without further
right.
ado, ladies and gentlemen, no more anticipation. Today we have Damien Mathis. He's a celebrated painter and sculptor from Fayetteville, North Carolina, whose artistic journey is deeply shaped by his military service and profound dedication to mental health and community healing. Without further ado, what's up, Dame?
What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing?
What's going on, my man?
Hello.
Hey, boy, I was reading over your bio, bro, and you have a very extensive bio. I love your artistic background, and you're from Fayetteville, North Carolina. So,
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's my home state as well, and city. So, bigs up 2-6 and all the way. But you are Montana's guest for tonight. So, Montana is going to introduce you to everybody and open you up to the show.
What's going on? What's going on, my peoples, man? It's Therapeutic Thursday, and today I brought my brother with me, the one, the only, Mr. Damien Masters himself. As you heard our host, Mr. say, he's a very known sculptor and painter straight out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, the 9 down, 2-6, and all of that. Man, I had to bring my brother on today because we're talking about Therapeutic Thursdays. And his art is driven by PTSD, which some may look at it as non-therapeutic, but in my eyes, it's a therapeutic thing. It's a very beautiful thing. So I introduced the song. I introduced the song and present to others. The one, the only, Mr. Damien Mathis. How you doing today, brother?
How you doing today? How everybody doing?
Doing pretty good. So, Mr. What do you like to be called? You want to be called Mr. Damien, Dame, D. Mathis?
Just call me Dame. So just call me Dame for short.
Okay, I got you. Well, for those of you who don't know, me and Dame, we go way back, all the way back to the sandbox. And this brother here has been drawing since, honestly, he taught me how to draw my first boxer. That's what we used to do during church. We're supposed to be listening to the word, but we got the offering envelopes. And we back there just a drawing and, you
Dang,
know, yes, on the offering envelopes. We just back there just drawing the whole service. I mean, we drawing on the what's the things you get, the not the obituary, man. Itineraries you get, you know, when you first walk through the door. I mean, by the time we left church, man, we had about 5, 6 pieces of paper and made paper planes. And but so then when would you say that this art thing really started for you, my brother?
I can honestly say it was around that time when we was younger in church and so forth. It's just something that I kind of picked up, something that I was like, this is a goal that I didn't know was a goal then as a child. You know, you're a child, you don't think about future tense. I just thought like, oh, I see this dinosaur, I just want to draw it as is. So it was like it was meeting people like Tony in my life that would just sit there and kind of like challenge each other to be like, all right, what's your idea, so forth, and just jot it down. And who's to say like I didn't know it would turn into what it is today? Just it's the little things. I don't know, like how can I even Yeah, I can say it started there, and it
Uh-huh.
restarted after I got back home from war because I seen the influence and the purpose and so forth in it. Um, and that's what led me to, I guess, learning color as it is now.
Okay. So you spoke on coming home from war. First of all, I want to say thank you for your service. Um, Second, how was that transition for you coming home from a hostile environment like that, and then transitioning through a paintbrush and a salt shall it be because you say you're a sculptor as well.
Mhm.
So how was that transition?
That transition coming back
Uh-huh.
home, I was already kind of like doodling and drawing and so forth in my downtime over there when we wasn't like patrolling or however so. So it was always like a concentration thing. It was always like I knew that I needed some type of safe space to get my mind together while I'm around chaos. So it always stuck with me. When I got back home from war, of course, I went through a lot of dark days with PTSD and so forth, and I didn't realize like I had like a traumatic brain injury from being blown up a couple of times, and it was just a lot to. You think because you're young that you're invincible. You think because you're young that your mind's still good, but one little mishap, now you're on the road to wherever, and you gotta either catch yourself or have good people around you that can kind of be like, "Hey man, you okay?" I don't think at that time I had the right people around me because being around certain people you get roasted for your mishaps, and it just you over
Mm-hmm.
there surviving, hanging on to a thread, and your friends just like, that's funny, let's laugh at them. However, so I came back home from war looking messed up, whatever, and that kind of was like, all right, I need to step back away from that, get myself together. I know I'm not okay, so started. Um, I started at my undergrad bachelor's at Fayetteville State University, and I met someone by the name of Dwight Smith. He's my painting professor. And he kind of was like telling me, he was like, "You're a painter." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." He was like, "You're a painter." And I'm like, and we kept going back and forth about this. He was just like, "You
Yeah.
gonna see." And he kind of stuck on me about that. And he kind of like made it so that like how rebellious we get sometimes. He made it so that anything he said, I'll try to outdo him or try to like, impress him or however so. And I end up learning a lot about why he loved color and why other artists love color. And I started to see like, oh, there's some understanding in here. There's some kind of connection in here to why am I learning this weight of what color means and not as I would like, how you read in something, you can understand the color is different. Like you have to
Mm-hmm.
understand it on I guess a spiritual level or on like
Yeah.
your gut feeling, like you got to understand it like that. So me learning all these colors, I started to think like, oh, what can I do to help other people that I understand this color makes me feel this way. So I want other people to witness this real time and be like, all right, what does it do for them? So I started down that journey of like learning abstract, doing murals, just kind of painting the room in an environment and so forth, and learning like, all right, there's just more than just putting color on something. There's more than just like, a paintbrush or a spray can and so forth. I started learning like it was a purpose behind it. So, yeah, and I think I answered the majority of your question.
No, that's fine, man. We love the answers. We love the answers. You mentioned PTSD.
Hmm.
So with this being Therapeutic Thursday, and you mentioned that was you starting to paint was a form of your therapy because you had just came home from all that chaos, and you mentioned being blown up, and I can honestly say because a lot of people don't know, you're the only guy that I allow to light off fireworks around me
Yeah.
at my fireworks show.
Uh-huh.
You know, and so I look at my fireworks as painting a picture, and so when I do have you do these type of things, that's therapeutic for me.
Hmm.
So, I say, did you recommend to any of your fellow soldiers who were coming home? Did you recommend to them to start painting, or
Oh
trying
yeah,
to find a hobby to take their mind off of what they just came home from?
oh yeah. Of course. I was infantry. I was 0311. I served 16 Bravo Infantry Battalion Marine Corps. So I've been there, done that. I've done things that I didn't think I would do at 18, 19 years old and so forth, whatever. I didn't know I'll be all over the world fighting for freedom. I don't know, whatever you call it. But it was one of those, like, I want to say I've lost a couple guys over there, but it's when I got home, it's the amount of suicides I was seeing. It was the amount of that I was personally seeing. Some of these guys I personally knew. Some of these guys killed themselves before we even came back home from war. We was on our way a couple weeks out. I don't know why. I still don't know why, but it's one of those things. I think since I've been out, I got out in 2012. I've lost 11 guys to suicide. So it's one of those, it's like what I do now, I have many reasons. I have many reasons why I'm standing here. It's because of that. It's because it's like, all right, some of these guys were the toughest guys I've ever met, this, that, and the third. And it's like, once you let yourself break, it's like ceramics, is like pottery or however. You can put yourself together, but you still gonna be missing pieces here and there that you can never find or you can never fit back to you. So it's one of those, it's like I watch these guys crack here and there, and we never said anything about it. I watched these guys crack, and it was like I was saying earlier, some guys got joked on, and it made it worse, and we didn't realize they was already on the edge. They was already looking down that cliff. They was already like, everything's behind me now, besides what my happiness is. So it's like going through that at a young age and going through stuff with my body and so forth. It kind of was like it cut it off that everything was a game. Like everything is like, we think we young, we think we got time and so forth, but we really don't. It's just you have to make that time worth it. Just
Gotcha.
just going through all of that, painting was my only thing that made sense. Like that's my only thing. Like painting to me, learning color was to me is something that I can have a conversation with and it won't judge me back. I can talk to it, and instead of telling my secrets, it tell people things that it learned about me or have or so. And it's like that type of transition is like, yeah, I can't take that pain and put it on someone else or however so, but I can take that pain and turn it into happiness or however so. It's just a lot that I had to tell myself, like, all right, I'm in the middle of this learning thing, and I see both ends. I see the happy side. I see the people who need help. I see the people who need a helping hand or someone that, amongst men, you have to be around someone that you feel is kind of your equal to kind of listen to them. It's like a respect thing. It's like some people think
Yeah.
that you might not, I guess, rate a conversation because you haven't experienced the same things that they have or have or so. So I feel like me having a military background now, I'm able to, I guess, talk to a crowd of guys that wouldn't listen to, I guess, the average Joe or however so, because you wouldn't know. And that's with any profession or any background. Yeah, that answer the question.
Oh yeah, you definitely answered the question, brother, man. You mentioned you lost a lot of people coming back. My condolences to that. I want to applaud you for standing up and finding a out, because I mean, you don't have to say this on camera or anything like that, but you could have been that same man on that ledge, but you fought against it and you found your way out through painting. So I want to applaud you for that, brother, because a lot of people don't
Mhm.
make it. So I do
Yeah.
want to applaud you for that. And mentioning that, that was one of the things that really caught my eye. That's like, yo, he still do this stuff, and it was a piece you had did for one of your fallen brothers. And when I
Hmm.
tell you that piece that you did was a freaking spit image of the picture that I guess saying you, what's the word, I'm guessing transcribed or whatever, I don't know,
Hmm.
but it looked eye for eye, king for king, detail for detail, exact carbon copy.
Hmm.
Man, that's amazing, brother. That is amazing.
It's
So go ahead.
it's one of those things. It's like, what can you do for certain people that literally helps them? Like, what can you do? Yeah, we can, say our condolences or whatever case may be. Um,
Hmm.
but what kind of brings people back to reality? Sometimes it's seeing yourself in a way that the world sees you. Sometimes we don't look in the mirror every day and see that we're perfect and so forth. We just kind of like, we need to hear that from somebody else or see it somewhere else. And I feel like that was kind of my purpose to do for some of these guys that were still here, some that were gone, some guys that haven't even painted yet because I can't stomach it. I know how they left this earth and so forth. So it's a lot for me to even take in to get that process. Like, all right, even when I finish this piece, I still have to present it to their family. I still have to go through all this and this and that third. I have to mentally put myself together before I even go down that road. Um, it's been a journey, but you kind of question like, why have I went through things like this in my life, or however so, or why did I survive it, or why did I see the things that I seen that I really you can't even explain to no one, or even
uh, I get
as a
that.
scripted
I get
and
that
artistic
110.
as I am, like it's a lot of things I can't even word out, like I can't even. So it's like, all right, I just do what I can. Yeah.
Gotcha, brother. Gotcha. So, would you say was that part of your drive to go back to school and receive your bachelor's? Did that did that motivate you? Like, basically, what was your motivation? Because a lot of us, we graduate, we go on further in our careers. You went to the military. Some of us, you know, we look at going back to college. Like, man, I'm grown as hell. I ain't about to be,
Mhm.
turning in homework or doing this up all night. And so, what was some of your motivation that kept
It,
you focused while in college? Oh,
it was
well,
just
before the
one of
school.
those like these same guys, and of the ones that we lost to suicide, some of them I didn't know directly. They were within my
Hmm.
unit. Uh, but some I did, but one of them that took his own life. That's the things we used to talk about with each other during our off time during patrol at night or our downtime. That just be stuff that like, oh, when I get back home, I'm going to do this. When I get back home, I'm going to do that. So we all had our goals written out. We all had our promises to each other. Like, hey, if I don't survive, you already know what to do. You already know what to do with my family, blah, blah, blah. I know what you want to do. You better do it. So it's one of those, it's like, I still made a promise to someone that ain't even here. I still made a promise in my word because that's, between certain people, your word is your bond. Like if you don't keep that, what good are you? So it's like going back to school only came about because I was like, all right, what next? Like I know I can paint and so forth, but what next? And going through school, I'm glad I did because I started to learn the right way to go about artwork and so forth. Like, yeah, you can have talent and not know what to do with it. You can have talent and not have no guidance. You can have talent and not have no knowledge and where to put your talent. So it's like going back to school kind of knocked off some of that in my undergrad and kind of got me to a point where I at least know enough to build a solid foundation to that I'm not literally talking out of my rear end. And now I'm currently in my master's program at SCAD, and that's a whole different ball game. Like that's one of those I didn't think I'll be talking to people who will refer me to Disney or Pixar or however. So my professor now used to work for CNN. He was the executive producer, and I'm like, how did? But it's one of those. It's like, all right, now I have a different perspective on what art leads to. Now I have a professional perspective on what using all this talent and opportunities and thoughts and so forth throughout the years. Now I see why. Like you have to be this sort of toolbox that at any time you can use any tool. Like the tool is sharpened, the tool is perfect. Like it fits exactly with the job. That's the whole purpose of school to me now. That me growing up, like it's stuff like my grandmother always told me, like knowledge is one thing that can't be taken away from you.
Amen. Amen.
So it's like that was instilled. You know, your grandma tell you something that's gonna be in there, like that's gonna be instilled in some way. So that's one of those things. It's like, dang, you can know the world if you want to. It's just gonna make it, make you have better odds of whatever you want to do, and you never know how many tools you would need to get to your goals. So, yeah.
Most definitely, brother. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass you on to my brother BU.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I love the military. I always wanted to be a Joe, but things just didn't work out that way. So, with that being said, say you mentioned you were a Marine,
Mm-hmm.
and we all know that Marines are first in, and they're not gonna finish until the job is done. So this is why today you're back in school for your master's now, because you're not gonna finish
Mm-hmm.
until you got it all, right?
Oh yeah, I'm
That's
going
what's
for my
up.
doctorate.
That-
Yeah, I'm definitely going for my doctorate. Or like I'm going for my MFA now, but to have that type of, I guess, credits to have your doctorate or be called a doctor or whatever. So why not? Um, it's just something that I just want to do. Like I feel like it'd be a waste of time if you kind of don't see it all out. Like you don't know what you're gonna get until you get it. And many doors have been opened up simply because I've been back in kind of a professional setting where a lot of artists don't cross that line to be professional. Like they don't clean themselves up. They don't work on their presentation. They don't work on their paperwork, their copyright. So I like all of that. Their appraisals. Like I only got so serious because no one else wouldn't take me serious because I wasn't serious. I was showing up with talent, but no knowledge on how to even explain it in what I'm doing or why I should be selling it to them for whatever price. The more money you charging someone, the more anal they're going to be about why. Why should I do this, that, and the third? What am I getting out of it? It's going to be more than that piece. Like they need something to talk about. They need something to, show off or however. So I feel like that's why a lot of people get into artwork. Like they have a lot of money. They don't got nothing to do with it, but they want to physically show people that they have a lot of money. So it's like, it's a lot of reasons. So yeah, I've been blessed to cross that line here and there and so forth, and I'm glad I did it gradually. So I feel like when you make a lot of money in some way, shape, or form, you get lazy. I don't know what it is, but say you make 10K today, what you gonna do tomorrow? Rest, go to sleep. You might do something later on that evening, but you're gonna be like, nah, I'm good. And just chill out. But I believe in the starving artist. Like I believe that you have to be some sort of hungry to keep your wits in. Like you gotta be primal in some way. Like you gotta be like, all right, every day I know I gotta chase this gazelle. I know I gotta do this and third. I know I gotta be king of the jungle. But you always gotta be on top of your game. Like I feel like if everything is kind of like given to you as soon as you finish something, you're gonna miss the experience of life. Like you gonna it ain't it's more than just I don't know. It's more than just what people know it to be. And yeah, I'm just here to kind of explain that. So, yeah.
Most definitely. Thank you, brother. Be you.
All right, what's up? I'm gonna call you Dr. Mathis because hey, you
All right,
go get that doctorate.
I
Hey,
appreciate it.
you gonna get that. I just heard you talking about you said you make 10K today and you go rest tomorrow. So and that's what you're in the military. Well, you were in the military, and that's what we call complacency.
Oh yeah,
With
complacent. Yeah, every time.
which is like getting comfortable and everything. Have you ever felt like you was getting too comfortable and you're like, yo, I gotta snap back into it?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. Simply, your complacency can be your attachments to things that you really don't need. It can be people. It can be anything
Mm.
drawing you away from your goal or your gift or something that God has kind of led you down the road to do. Like that can be complacency. It ain't always I guess being lazy, but yeah, my complacency came, and that's probably the reason why I went back to school, because I felt like I was all over the place. Like I didn't know what to do with something so great that I had, this understanding that I had. I was just like, all right, what do I do? Like, yeah, I can paint, but I'm like, all right, now I'm meeting scholarly people where they're like, hey, you should be able to write a 10-page paper about that. I can look at this all day, but until you can tell me exactly why this painting makes me feel this way, why it has this balance, this composition, this radius, like the radial, like the the center focus, perspectives, all that stuff, like that's when I was like, all right, I got complacency on my own knowledge. Like I felt like, you think you know everything. That's the less you know. Like, well, I can't even remember like the tale, like a man that think he knows everything knows nothing at all. And it was like
Yes.
around that time, like I saw that quote and I was just like, you got something there. Like you really got something there. So I learned to be like, all right, don't ever put learning something over me. Like don't ever think that I'm just there. Like I'm just like, oh, I can flex now and so forth, whatever. Whole time I ain't even cross finish line yet. Like it's yeah. Yeah, with that, I just had to. Oh, another thing, I knew I was getting complacent because when I started back in school, now I'm getting to see masters that been studied for the last 2, 3, 400 years. Now I'm starting to see the masters work in detail and better text and so forth. So now I'm like, all right, you did that with bare minimum tools, raw material, however, so still unmatched. All these great paintings and so forth, still unmatched. So I'm like, all right, what are we doing? Because we got more time, opportunity, resources, this, that, and third. We should have better work than these people who were literally making stuff from hand, or things were more difficult back then. But it also humbled me because it was like, I don't really need all this stuff to make a great painting. Like I don't need all this equipment and so forth, whatever. Go back to the basics. But with that comes with knowledge, learning a lot of stuff, like learning what paints are made from what material, what brushes are made from what animal, and just a lot of stuff. And you start seeing like all this stuff, and it's like, I don't know, like the more knowledge is just like, I don't know, you just have more fun when you're smarter.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Yeah, you just have more fun when you're smarter. So
All right, so you got a blank canvas, and how do you figure out what you're gonna draw? You got a blank canvas, like, and then you got your paintbrush or all that. How do you figure out what you want to draw, or you just start and then move it into something else?
young me, I probably would have tried to wing it, but old me now, I guess I have more so a process now, like paintings like this. Like I just did this painting of Kira Toriyama. We just lost him not too long ago, Dragon Ball Z creator. I thought about this painting way before he passed away. Because simply in my work that I do of other artists, I was just like, all right, he's more influential than a lot of artists, like a lot. So it was like I always had it in my mind. I was putting images here and there, doing my research, however. So when it's time to start, I'm not winging it. I'm not trying to be like, all right, let me make something out of thin air and just risk like wasting my time when I can just properly plan it in my mind. And when I'm ready, it comes out together. Like it doesn't come out discombobulated. And that will show in artwork. If you're unprepared, if you don't know what you're doing, that shows to an educated person, like a person that knows how to read art and actually goes by the book in the, I guess, what is it, 13 principles and all that stuff or whatever. They'll pick your stuff apart like it's cool. And I've had the honor to have curators and artists and teachers and professors around me that I was the only one in class they never took it easy on. I mean, like, not at all. Like, it was like from day one, they was like, yeah, you got some talent. We ain't about to let you, like, I ended up failing my first 2 painting classes in my undergrad. Surprise. Not a surprise. It was like, I took everything for granted. I thought at that time I could paint fast. Like I really paint fast. Like I can knock out a large painting in like 2 days. So I was like, oh, I'm good, bro. I'm whatever. So we had to do 4 large, like 48-inch paintings or whatever. No, not 4, 8 by the end of the semester. And, you know, you get your little critique throughout the semester or however. So that first critique, I had like 1 painting. Everybody else had like 3. And I was like, I catch up, whatever. So we had like critique right before our final. I had like 3 paintings. So my professor was like, how you about to pull this off? And I'm like, I get it done. He was like, okay. It's just one of those like, okay. So everybody else had like 6 or whatever case may be. So I ended up, bam, knocking them out. Good paintings just at 3rd. He gave me a straight F. And I was just like at the time, I was just like, he did all that work for, I mean, like he spruced me up the whole time. And he was like, yeah, I like that and blah, 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 this at 3rd. So he failed me simply because I didn't take the time to learn myself, learn the process, learn paints, like do research, not it. And I didn't follow direction neither because he wanted me to, that's when I learned about like looking at a painting in its finished form or however. So like how someone educated can see if you skip the step, if you skip whatever. So he was teaching us like your draft, your grays, your dead colors, your highlights, all like actually layering it in a way where I can teach it. I could be like, all right, if you want to do this great painting, I at least can teach you in sequence order from 1 to whatever number, or like from A to Z and whatever. He was trying to get us to see stuff like that. Like, and I know I'm missing a lot of things about that lesson, but it was one of those, like he was just like, all right, don't ever put yourself in a bind like that, especially when it's painting, because it's like you don't know what else will come in life. And like he was just trying to teach me a lesson, like what is it called? Like just kind of take your time and just be in that moment type thing. Like don't just think about the end result, just be in that moment. Like you're gonna be doing this for the rest of your life. You have to enjoy it. So there's a lot of things I learned from that F. So but I'm glad that happened early because I knew from that point on that no one else won't go and play with me like that. Like I knew it was gonna be one of those like, all right, they expect me to be better, so they ain't about to give they ain't about to give me no participation medal or however. So, and I'm glad that they were like that, because it made me, like I said, like people won't think you're serious unless you show that. So it's it was a lot. Just with my undergrad and learning all of that.
That's what's up. So I'm looking at your paintings behind you, and you got like broken frames and like how'd you get to the point where you figured it out? Like you got the broken frames, which is my first time ever seeing this actually today. So I've never seen nothing like this actually.
Yeah,
How
so
did you get to the point to figure that point out? Like
with school, being under some of my professors, they was always keen on recognizing an artist's work. Think about how many artists came before me, how many people are going to be studied, this, that, third. You can have great artwork, but it's one of those you put it in the gallery now, don't stand out no more. Now it's just in there. Now it's like somebody, I might catch it, they might see it, but it's not going to look great amongst other great pieces of artwork. So it's like, all right, I went down the whole thing for years to be like, all right, how can I be different? How can I be however? So I always studied all these other artists, and I always wanted to be like, I told myself for years that I don't want to copy other artists' work. I feel like that's kind of like no need to be done unless you're blatantly telling like, all right, I'm doing this in respect to their style. So that didn't work. And I end up like, dang, I can't get away from it because look how far down we are in history. Most of the stuff has been done already. Any type of form, any type of movement, however, so it's been done. If you know your art history, artists were already repeating each other early 1900s, however, so it was already coming around with the broken frame things. There's a lot of reasons how I got into that, but it was one of those, at that time, I was painting really, really big. Like I was painting like 6 foot, 8 foot pieces, however, so I ain't had no money. So I ended up selling the piece, but the person wanted a frame. And it was one of those, it's like, I found a frame like big enough for like the width of it standing up, but the piece was so big, I was like, all right, looking around this, that, and third, I'm about to spend $3-4 grand on a frame. I ain't even sell it for that much. So I'm like, all right, what am I doing? So it was one of those, it's like, I don't think I did it. I don't think I ended up doing it to that piece, but I did it to like the other piece. It was one of those, like I just tried it, broke it, whatever case may be, and stuff started clicking, stuff started making sense, stuff started like just a lot of things after that just started making sense. And I was like, I'm gonna stick to it simply because when I first started showing it to people, a lot of people ain't like it. They was like, why would you buy a frame just to break it? Just asking me all the things other than trying to understand why I did it. So I was like, all right, instead of me trying to tell people every time, I'm just going to kind of make a series and see where it goes and what I'll make sense of it then and however so. And it was one of those, all the artists I was painting, I started realizing like everything they painted about was about our broken history. They had broken stories. They had households. They like, it just clicked one day just talking to other people. And I was just like, I'm gonna keep to it. And now because I've done it, it's easier for me to be recognized. I stand out. It's a conversation piece. It's one of those, it's like people have their own interpretation of it from what they see. And I've heard all type of just good things once people started like seeing, oh, all right, I can look at the work now because I'm not worried about the frames anymore. I know that's what you do. So now I can appreciate the artwork. Now I can be like, all right, I know this yours, I know this, that, third. And I know I had a thought I missed. It was just one of those things where now, because I know I'm so different now that I'm doing this, that, and third, now that I have a series, at that point, I didn't know I could get appraised. I didn't know I could get copyrights. I didn't know I can get trademarked. And so I started going down that road simply because now, because I know I'm different, I got to protect myself. Because
I know that's right, boy.
Yeah, just one of those. Is like, when people start seeing you doing different stuff, either they try to do what you do or however so, and I don't mind that because that's part of art. We're supposed to influence each other. But if people blatantly coming up to me as I'm traveling on the road throughout the years, like, hey, that's a good idea. I'm gonna try that. And I was like, go ahead. Like, it was one of those, like, go ahead. But I'm like, all right, at least I'm protected. At least I'm already have my paperwork and everything that's officially me. Like I've spent probably more money on legitimizing myself than anything. Simply protecting myself and going through things that I didn't know were for an artist. But me doing that and me always getting on the road and asking people, now I'm meeting other artists that I have her painting in here, but it's an artist by the name of Judy Bowman that I met out of Detroit. I got invited up to Detroit to go to the Detroit Breakfast Club. I'm shouting y'all out. But it's me being on the road, I got invited to this. And when I got there, it was nothing but artists from all over the city. They met at a diner. And I say from every age, from young to old, everyone in there had an art piece, and everyone in there was taking turns selling their art piece. And it was like, to see a community thing like that, it was like, well, like, what am I walking into? What am I missing? What do I know? This, that, and third, blah, blah, blah. A lot of things happen, and I got an understanding on how artwork is involved in the community, how it helps the community. But I met the artist, Miss Judy Bowman, me not knowing who she was at the time, and she was so inviting. She was giving me pointers, this, that, and third, and I was just soaking them up. And I was just like driving back home, I was like, how do you know all that? Like, it started clicking. It's like, what? It's like, so me doing my research on her, me not realizing how many awards she has as an artist. Like, I'd never seen an artist registered with the U.S. Mint. That type of stuff is like, how did you get to that point? But her being legit, her having the city support her being involved in the community, it's a lot of stuff she did as an artist where I feel, to me, it's textbook brilliant. Like, it's really like she set herself up in a way where her price matched her work and this, that, and the third. She has support. She has the public presence, all that stuff. So everything that I seen come of her and from her made so much sense. And I wish I had a list of just her crazy, like, just the type of awards and the type of galleries and so forth and museums that she's been under and a part of. It's like, most artists don't get to that point until they're dead. Like, literally. Like, everything she was like, me studying artwork, I was like, hey, most artists don't even get that point until they dead and gone, and someone else got their work and however. So it's like, for me to see that real time, it really upped like what I was supposed to be doing, and how every piece had to try to make sense at that point of what I was producing and so forth. So yeah. And I hope
okay. Yeah, you answered it. I got one last question before I give it to Marshall. Do you have a favorite, as an artist, like that paint, do you have a favorite color? And is it different from your go-to color with starting?
Do I have a favorite color? I would honestly say I can say it's purple, or like a royal purple, or however. Simply because it's like, it's the most muted medium color. Like, it's a color that you look at as royalty, but you also respect it enough to let it be. Like, you don't argue with it. Like, it's not a hot or a cold. It don't make you angry or happy or whatever. So it just kind of like, it puts you in a calming vibe, like lavender or whatever. So like, it's like lavender. I guess the things that kind of correlate to that color, that's how it should make you feel. Like, that's how you should read color. Like, when you see purple, you should think of every flower, every type of thing that, goes with it and so forth. Even to modern day things like basketball teams, all those emotions should be in that color. So it's I think it's that purple. That's probably like my favorite. And yeah, hope I said everything.
Okay, Marshall.
Would you call it expressionism over impressionism?
Yeah. But I don't know. Like if I showed y'all like my abstract work and so like I have different types of like I've dipped and dabbed in every type of medium, any type of material other than metal. Yeah, I would say because I don't know that's I gotta think about that one. I gotta think.
You can also think as it more of as expressing yourself than more in trying to impress people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy you even say it like that because it's like the meaning is in the word. Like even in those time periods and so forth, I never even thought about it being that simple. Like damn, people were really painting stuff just to put in a big ass house to try to impress people. Like it was.
Yes.
And expressionism was just the people who wanted their voices heard. I ain't never think about it like that. Oh.
That gives you something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm guessing you probably like purple. Are you a Purple Heart recipient?
Okay, so what I'm going through currently now is so short story. I got blown up real bad. My squad got blown up real bad on my first deployment. Me being the only black person in my squad, it was one of those like whoever got hit, we patched them up, whatever case may be. I was good, but I wasn't good. Like I was dizzy, covered in dirt, however. So I was just more so worried about like, all right, we gotta get the bird here, blah blah. We gotta get to wherever they picking up whoever. So we was worried about getting them out and just the type of headaches I was having after we got blown up that real bad time. I was like, damn, I should at least got medevaced out or whatever the case may be. So they still ended up putting me on like 3 days bed rest in country, and I was light sensitive the whole nine. I was just like, but the only reason I didn't get medevaced out and so forth because I know they was calling two birds when they called it 9-1. First bird came in, bam. We got the guys on there. It flew out. They tore that fucking bird up. I was like, yeah, I'm not getting on that second bird. It was one of those. It was like, you're getting on that bird. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm good. So it was like, I fought tooth and nail. That's why they put me on. So fast forward, second deployment, and I was having headaches, balance problems, the whole nine, anger problems. I just want myself. I just knew whatever. I know I got blown up real bad, but I was like, I'm good. I can still hear shit. Limbs, all that, I'm good. So as I was getting out, I started getting a growth on the side of my head, and it was like itching real bad. And every time I touched it, like I feel weird. So went to BAS, and one of the corpsmen, he basically was like, "All right, let me see what you got." He laid me on the table, no anesthesia, no nothing, just cut whatever was in my head with a scalpel, like right then and there. So there was a little piece of metal in there, and he was like it's like we had one of them talks like, damn dog, you've had this in your head for however so long. So I never even thought nothing about it. So fast forward, going through all my VA stuff, whatever case may be, they literally just told me a couple weeks ago that I was supposed to basically fill out my own paperwork, send this, that, and third, do basically like a VA correct. I got all my other medals. I got presidential units. I take the whole nine, but with Purple Heart, I'm under Purple Heart, but I never been officially awarded my Purple Heart. That's stuff that you got to get right up. You got to go through all your corpsmen. You got to go through your chain of command, the department, or whoever you was under. All that stuff. I've been out for so long, it's hard for me to do all that. But
yes,
I'm basically in the process of doing that now because I was supposed to be awarded Purple Heart. Everyone else in my squad, dead and gone, they mostly... Let me check. Everyone but 2 got their Purple Hearts, if I'm not mistaken. And so I got to go through all that paperwork. I don't know if they're going to award me or not. I just know I got to go through it. But it's it's just one of those. It's like, did I miss out on something or whatever case may be? I was just more so glad to be alive. I've seen people get their legs blown off, the whole nine. I was just glad to be like, I'm in one piece. Good.
You got all your limbs.
I didn't care about none of that at that point. Like we were still trying to go to these guys' funerals that we lost over there. So a Purple Heart was the last thing on my mind. Like I was just more so just trying to keep myself together. And me being young, I was naive. I didn't care about it. I didn't even know what type of medals I had getting out of the Marine Corps. I can honestly say like I was in the clouds about that. But now me being older and learning stuff now, it's just something that I gotta go through now. I didn't even know that they would award you after you got out of service and so forth. But most of us got out probably 2 weeks. No, I'll take that back. 6 weeks after we got back from our last deployment. Most of us was already basically processing out because most of us had back pain, already had back surgeries, the whole nine at 21, 22 years old. So most of us was mentally and physically done. And I didn't want to re-enlist because I felt like if I went on third deployment, I probably was going to get killed. So, yeah.
Again, sorry for your 11 friends.
Mm-hmm.
What a lot of people don't know is 22 veterans a day commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a shirt about that and everything like that. That's just something I wanted to bring across as a little tidbit.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say, and I'm gonna say this on record, like to me, suicide ain't just shooting yourself in the face and all that stuff. It's drinking yourself to death. It's being reckless. It's basically you don't care for your life at any point to the point that it leads to your demise. I've seen guys slowly do that. Like slowly, it's a gradual thing. Like it's the drug route. It's all that. It's general calling the police on yourself just so that I've seen it all. So it's like it's sad, but it's one of those. It's like we knew the odds. Like we knew, but it's one of those. We didn't take care of each other like we should have, like we promised. So that's why I'm doing stuff like this, because some of the guys that I have served with, they're like, over the years, they're like, man, I'm glad to see you doing this and this, that, and third. It kind of like helped me reflect on how much I have to do. Like this physically shows work. Like it physically shows you putting your heart in all this time and energy into something. So that might be a good representation to someone. So it's little things like, shit, I still got to keep going whether I want to or not. Like I've been pushing my body further than I have just with my wrist. So it's like painting to me now isn't that hard. Like it's like I'm supposed to be doing, like it's automation now. It's like, all right, God, like it's just taking my wrist and like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. So I'm here. I'm here for a reason. So yeah.
I got one last question, then I'll pass you to Lady Alva.
Mm-hmm.
You got any future artists you want to do?
Say that again.
You got any future artists you're planning that you like?
Oh,
that
yeah.
you're planning?
I literally, so I think I'm in the 40s now on how many artists I've done so far, like this big, tall, whatever. And I literally have a whole mental book of artists, and then I have artists that basically they like slip through the cracks in time type thing. Like they had their influence on why we are today, but no one knows about them. They're not a common household name. And that's another reason why I got into this, because I started finding out about all these great artists and no one knows about them. Even people like my painting professor. The reason I went up to Detroit, because he was like, when I graduated, went back up to school, talked to him. He was like, oh, you should go up to Detroit. And I was like, why? He was like, just go up there. So me, I'm like, it's Friday. I'm like, all right, let me see. Somebody had reached out to me. I guess that was one of his friends, reached out to Mr. Henry Harper. And he was like, oh, you should come up here on Monday to Breakfast Club, blah, blah. So I was like, all right. Sunday, bam, I hit the road. Got up there, and Mr. Henry Harper ended up showing me that my professor, that he never talked about any of his work in this and third, he has work in Detroit. He has sculptures in Detroit. He got this. And I'm like, Dog, I've been around you 4 or 5 years. You never said a thing about it, but it was one of those I had to see it for myself. Like, I had to see, like, all right, you're around older people. They're past their prime. They done did what they need to do. They don't got time to be talking about that. It's either you see it or you don't. So it's like, dang, it's like I was in front of somebody great the whole time, and he never even, never even presented himself like that. He put himself where he needed to be so that we don't, miss our own goals trying to, somebody probably could have tried to copy him or idolize him the wrong way or whatever. He just wanted to be like, hey, you got your own journey type thing. So I think I lost my thought, but stuff like that is just general. People like that I paint. Like, I know now I'm going to do Miss Faith Ringgold, and I'm going to do another artist. I can't even think of her name. But I know I've been wanting to do Miss Ringgold for a while. I actually wanted to meet her before she passed away, but that's one of the artists that I didn't get to meet. A lot of these artists that I painted and so forth, either I met them, I met their families, I met their trusts, I met the galleries that represent them. I'm good friends with the galleries. I mean, like, pieces that are 120,000, 170,000. I mean, these are prints of these artists' work, and I know their families and all this stuff. Like, basically, I know where to go and get stuff legitly now because I'm so plugged in with what I do now. So it's just a different thing to see. Like, it's a different world, and I hope I didn't get too much off subject.
No, that was great.
Okay.
Lady Alva, stage is yours.
And thank you very much, Mad Hatter. And thank you for your service, Damien Mathis.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you again. So you kind of stumbled into your gift and your talent here from the friend who told you you're a painter. You were arguing back with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's phenomenal. This is phenomenal, first of all. But do you know how profound PTSD, being one with PTSD and painting is, the connection of the two? Yeah. What is it for you?
You said, what is it for me?
Yes.
What is it, like the connection?
Yeah.
It's been my outlet simply because it's not just about like my anxiety or like, me not sleeping. A lot of people don't realize when we come back home from war, we got hypervigilance now. Like, we got heightened senses and stuff and so forth. So you always like mentally you're like, but I've learned instead of me looking crazy in public, I'm more so like, at least I can focus on like some detail in a flower or something or anything I want to look. I'm like, all right, at least I know my ADD can focus on that real time. And I'm like, it gave me a sense of like, all right, I can process more information than the average person. Like, I know I can handle that. So I can, show you that I'm seeing me. I'm showing y'all that I'm paying attention to something so with. And I feel like that's the power in painting, to take you to a place where you have to slow down, you have to stop, you have to be like literally in that moment, and you don't realize how much detail is in just whatever you're looking at. Always refer it back to might be a little bit off, but you remember like Men in Black when they did the whole the thing at the end where they went from like the small view
Yeah.
to the big view and it started all back over type thing.
Yes.
How I'm like, that's how I see paint. That's how I'm like, all right, how much detail can you go into? How much smaller can you go? How microscopic? I feel like that's been our reach as artists. Like, we're pulling that much information from our brain to try to show you your brain. Like,
Yeah. So do you feel like more relaxed with your anxiety? Do you see the results or feel the results, the difference, and better balance for yourself mentally,
honestly,
emotionally?
it's the only time that I kind of calm down. Like
Nice.
I've been like my nerves been shot since war. Like I can honestly say that. Like I might not show it or whatever, but it's gotten to the point like I've grinded my teeth so much like they
Mhm.
give me all permanent metal teeth and stuff back here and so forth. Like it's one of those. I probably drive myself crazy if I ain't have nothing to do. Cause I'm always in my mind thinking, hearing stuff that ain't even nowhere near me. I can hear the truck starting 2 streets over, and I'm like, why am I thinking about that? Like, wow,
Mhm.
where you been where people sneak up on you, get blown up, and whatever case may be, like you're stuck in that. Like you don't realize how wired just being somewhere 6 months constantly will rewire your whole mind for the rest of your life. Like,
Mhm.
so it's my PTSD kind of sits to the side as I paint. It gives me that much respect to be like, all right, you're trying to be great. Go ahead, go ahead, do what you need to do, and I'm gonna be right back. And it's like, no, please give me some more light. But it's just a reminder that again, like I said earlier, you can't let yourself crack. Like you can't let
Mhm.
even with them cracks, you can't let dirt get in them cracks. Like it's one of those to myself. So I constantly keep painting or thinking. It gives me something to stick my mind to other than trauma. You know, misery loves company.
Mhm.
I don't feel like we keep that in mind that it can be stuff like that. Like you think you're doing good, but misery over there, like, yeah, go ahead and let the guard down. I'm go for it. So it's like, so
Yeah.
me being surrounded by paintings and so forth, I'm always like, all right, I need to finish something on that. Or I need to do this, blah, blah, blah. I got stuff here, or I got to show whatever. And I'm not thinking about like, hey, when I go outside, I'm getting my legs blown off. Like it's little things like you don't even know how far just a bad mindset will keep you. Like it hermit crab you, it do that whole thing. Like and I just stick with it because like even when I came back home from war, for the longest I couldn't even walk in grass.
Oh.
Grass,
Why?
because if I stepped in a soft spot over there, you gone. Like you pink miss
Oh. Wow.
bad. Like you step on a pressure plate or whatever, you pink miss. Like no more.
Mm.
It's like so for months I had to go through therapy just for that, just to walk in grass.
Mhm.
Just to be around normal people or loud noises or parties or just normal stuff that we take for granted. I didn't realize how much that was like, making me bad. So I had to be like, all right, I'm back home. I'm good. I can do stuff on my own accord. I can paint. I can whatever. I know I'm home. Like you have to keep telling yourself that for a while. I feel like a lot of people they don't come back. Like I've seen a lot of guys that I've served, like they still over there. Like they never came back. They never found something over here to attach them. They didn't have no family. They didn't have. So it's like that's where their life left off is. Like that's where it's at. So
Mhm.
yeah, painting kind of just gave me a new chapter. I knew I ended the old chapter, and painting kind of be like, all right, that's that part where you like, all right, you know that's done. You know it's done. Do this. Like just keep doing this. So yeah, I'm just glad that I came into it and that I actually had to give it a chance. Like it won't know like this that third. Like you literally have to open yourself up to stuff, whether you're vulnerable or not. It just got to be with you. So yeah.
Yeah, that's phenomenal too. And I want to also say to you and to the people, don't mistake my laughter and stuff as if it's
Mhm.
a joke or funny. But why I can laugh and smile is because I can clearly hear, and all should be able to hear, that you put the work in to
Mhm.
understand your PTSD, to understand PTSD and to understand your PTSD. And like you own it and you know that it's here, but maybe not right now. So I'm gonna go over here and get this done.
Mhm.
Those are things what you just said until the PTS is like, here I am again.
Yeah,
But
I just got
uh-huh.
I got tired of going to see shrinks and therapists and all that. I've seen more therapists than I can even count. And it was like, damn, do I really want to spend the rest of my life talking to somebody else that they ain't never they can't even tell you what most of the things you experience is about. They can only say, "Oh, you okay," or give you some exercises or whatever. So it was like, dang, this ain't working. Like, what if I lose it because I'm not getting any context from just talking to people? Like, what if
Mm-hmm.
my thing? Like, oh, I had a bad day at therapy. Now I got to go. I don't know. Like, it just wanted like, all right, I need something that I can do by myself in my time in my home,
Right.
people, and it's just for me until
Right.
it's for
Yeah.
everyone. So, yeah, painting is like I'm yeah, painting is the only thing. So, even the guys that I served it, I send them canvases, whatever case may be. Most of the guys, I'm that one. I keep in touch with everyone. They know when I call, you pick up, whatever. Because we lost so many guys, I don't play with nobody no more. I'm like, dog, if I gotta drive 13 hours, you already know I'm pull up at your door. Your family know. We,
Yeah.
we got to get to that point where it's like, dog, we don't survive things where no, not too many people would have came back. Like, so it's like, all right, for you to give up right now, it's just madness. Like, it's just one of those, like, you put in all that work, just be like, I'm defeated. And just, I don't know. So,
Yeah.
I
That's
just,
real. That's real good. You made me think that it's better to express your gift if
mm-hmm.
to help you to move forward from trauma.
Like,
Yeah. Some people dive into work, but I
yeah.
think it's better if you can tap into your gift and do that, or work and do your gift. Like you said, something that's just for you, that
Mm-hmm.
you own. It belongs to you.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
very.
why would
Mhm.
somebody judge you because you're trying to find your happiness?
Mhm. Mhm. Mm.
It's it. Like, it's like if I can't do certain stuff to be like, oh, I'm good for the day. It's I don't know that takes my out right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right
Truly
then
do.
and there because they're like, well, this is pointless. Bye. Like so, and I hate
Yeah.
that jokes like that, but it's like I've watched guys put guns in their mouth, and I never think I'd see something like that in my life, especially being in the
Mhm.
military. Like I knew it was a possibility, but I didn't think nobody would actually be like, you know what? I don't care who here. I'm gonna still blow them up, and that's it. Like, and I
Mhm.
the worst stories of that, and it's like I still can't. I don't know. I don't know what just diverted him to be like everything is hopeless, but yeah. So I
Look, I always say it's okay when sometimes when you don't know something or some things, it's not for
mhm,
you to know what you need to know. I want to just speak about some key things that I jotted down that you said, and I really enjoyed. And I this one here, you have more fun when you're smarter.
mhm.
I like that. Explain that. What? Explain that, please.
um you won't know about too much unless I guess unless you know about it. Like it's one of those like I wouldn't have like now that I'm in my master's program. I thought that I got accepted into this prestigious art school, this, that, and the third. I thought it was gonna be
Mhm.
like some riverboat painting or whatever, like it's just gonna be painters and artistic people. But now that I'm in a actual art school, I'm coming across these professions where I didn't even know they existed because they just don't have like a lot of people in them. Like I'm learning about the backgrounds and arts and learning sustainability and materials and so forth. Things that you don't think about, uh, like a razor, actual razor that you shave with. There's artists that design that product from start to end, from
Mhm.
material to end of life cycle, the whole nine, whatever. They have to know all that as a artist to know that if this plastic is good enough for the. I mean, like for the earth, and it goes deeper than just me drawing up a design. I have to draw up a design in a way where I have to draw it for this machine because it uses certain materials that it can only mold a certain way, and it's just crazy that it's like now that I'm getting into that side of thinking about artwork, it's like, dang, now I understand why architect would be that, why someone would literally, take all these years to be this crazy profession that it don't look like it has nothing to do with art, but you have to be creative in a way to even get into that field. So it just made it more fun that it's like, all right, there's stuff out there that it's gonna be a headache to learn. When I do learn it, now I can use it. Now I can.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Like, oh, like, I'm in there. Like I'm. So it's like, things are hard when you winging it. Things are hard when you don't know or not taught. When somebody walk you through certain stuff and they give you like the good and bad and what not to do and what to do, it just make it easier to concentrate on creating something. So yeah, in that sense,
Wonderful.
like it does get fun. So
wonderful. I like also you said ready in my mind. So anything before you do something, you have it all done here in your mind. Yes. Awesome.
Yes,
awesome.
I don't like you can see how complex this is.
Yes.
So we trying to be like, oh, let me think about this guy. And then if you know how complex Dragon Ball Z is, that's what, 30 years of episodes and this, that, and third. Who can put 30 years in their head, just be like, oh, and put it down like this? No, I had to visually make sure that every piece that I put in there, it makes sense logically, it makes sense visually, it makes sense in weight, it makes sense in the whole composition balancing itself out from whatever side to side, up, down. Even the colors balance each other out. I don't know if y'all ever seen a color wheel, but if
yeah.
Color wheel, if you even look at the colors,
I've seen it.
like the warms and colds and all of that is still balanced. It's still yin and yang. Stuff you have to do that as well. Your balance goes with your lights and your darks. Like the lighter something is, the closer it is to you. The darker it is, the further back it is. So once you know all that, it becomes fun. Like it becomes, now I'm painting a game. Now I'm painting something that it became exciting to me because I got to figure it out. I got to put these puzzle pieces together so that it all makes sense. So it's like, I can't do it if I don't got the proper knowledge to do my layers a certain way or do everything in order and build off of that. Like you can't build a structure or something. Like say like, all right, if you want to build a human, you can't start from the beginning. You got to start from their bones. Like you got to start from that structure, their skeleton. Then you got to do the veins, and then you got to do all that, and then you got to do the muscle, the layers of the skin, the hair, your aura. If you Rick James, I don't know. It's one of
you
gotta think about the whole thing.
Yeah, all the intricacies, right? All of the intricacies, all the connected parts, like you said, the puzzle. Yeah, and it brings the whole great understanding. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I think I agree with you. I think it is. You have more fun when you're smarter.
I want to be sitting there like Patrick, like it's I done been there before. Like that's why I'm like, nah, this ain't it. Like it's something that I need to learn. That's gonna even your knowledge of the tools that you use, like your paint brushes. You learn that certain paint brushes don't go with certain paint. That's a big one that I see a lot of artists don't even pay attention to that and wonder why they're struggling painting and so forth. That's because you ain't make sense of what you using. You know what you was using. Even I can paint something like this with the cheapest materials because I know how they work, how that material, the setting times of that that paint and layers, how thick and thin I'm supposed to have it. Like it's just a lot. Like when you know knowledge about something, you can make something with the crappiest of materials and still make a masterpiece if you respect its boundaries. So
nice. Well said. Well said. Last but not least, but I will pass it on after this highlight of yours to Mr. Sapiosexual. I'll pass it on to. But you said you learned from an F, right? So when you said that, this is what I jotted down. What I learned from a F hyphen L lur. So you explain your personal philosophy of learning from an F, because many of us are taught that failure is bad. Many of us know better now, no different now. Many are still stuck in that. But when I say L lur, because you want to not let the L lur in your being from failure. Give them something great that can help the people.
Okay, I learned from my F. Because first of all, when you make an F, you already know you gotta repeat that grade. So that was my first thing. Is like, dang. Again, I learned because I wasted my time. I learned because I didn't take my time. I learned because my time was given to me and I didn't use it. In that time, because I rushed, I didn't seek help. I didn't I didn't put my mind in the books. I didn't kind of conceptualize everything that I wanted to do like I do now. Like I just think about it. I didn't do none of it. And with that F is like now you have to think like he also told me think about when you get to a point where someone wants you to do a commission. When people pay you, they want you to do certain things a certain way. He was like, don't ever go outside of that. Whether you can or not, or don't ever go outside of that. He was like, you paint stuff for people and you paint stuff for yourself. Don't ever mix the two. So it's like, I was having problems selling my things up until I learned it. Because I was always like, oh, they want this, that, and third, but I always put my little twist in it. I'm thinking it's good, but that person ain't pay for that. So he was like, and I'm doing all that because it's last minute, ain't think about it, but I'm like, all right, let me be me. Bam. They like, I don't want that. And I'm like, so it's like that F, it's still the same mindset. It's like, dang, I got another F. Like it's one of those like, because I didn't listen. I didn't follow instruction. Like I didn't. It like that F stuck with me. My chest was poked out because I was like, yeah, I can paint this, that, and third, and that F. Like it really humbled me. It really was like, dang. At least I thought I was gonna get a C. You get a C, I wouldn't change my way. I would have passed. This, that, and third, would have went straight on to it. Same bullshit. Next class. But with that F, I was like, nah. Now I got to bring my GPA up. Now I done lost my scholarship. Now then that F really was like this is. I couldn't even say it was some bull because it was my own fault. Like it was just like so. That even in my master's program now, day one, I'm on it. Like I'm like, hey, let me go ahead and read through these chapters, whatever. I already know what's coming up. So now I can prep myself to even think about all that. So I'm not winging it at the last minute neither. So that F really, like I still tell him thank you to this day. Like it's like one of those. But like I'm glad you did it because it's like I made A's and stuff for the rest of that time. And it really like because I lost my money. I started hustling. I started, start getting myself together about like, damn, if I want to do this for the rest of my life, like to sell these paintings, I just have to have myself together and slowly started working my way from selling pieces from $25 all the way up to 5 figures and more plus that. So it was like, that F was like that was a real thing. I think you're muted.
A continual process of prioritizing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Hey, bro. So you pursuing your master's in painting and sculpting.
Mm-hmm.
What's your goal? What's your goal when you finish that program?
That I ain't thought about yet, but with my MFA, I think because I think my MFA, I was going to go into teaching or like because of the school that I'm going into. I think like most of the jobs that I look at that I want to do, they start like $170,000 a year.
Yeah.
Just with me getting my MFA, so I was like, man, I'm gonna get it regardless. Whether I want to do that job or not, it's just something that it's something that's worth it going through all this. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like family, money, time, that's all we kind of look forward to. That you know, kind of level us out. So it's like you gotta balance out those and take those opportunities within those categories. So if I could get a degree and get a job paying well, that's a plus. And then I'm still in my profession, that's even more of a plus. And then I can still stay in school because of my profession and still get other credits and so forth. So yeah, I'm just trying to see what it'll open. And I think I kind of hit a brick wall. Even though me having my bachelor's and so forth, most of the well-established artists that I've met, they have their MFAs.
Yeah.
They have their masters and so forth. So it is something that I possibly need because that's the only thing that I'm missing out the equation is my black and white.
Right. Yeah. I respect that. What's your future aspiration? Would you want a gallery or something like that?
I had a gallery.
Okay.
I will only start a gallery if I had someone reliable to run it, because I don't think I would sit in a gallery anymore and wait on people. And if I do, well, my goal is to kind of I've started a gallery, but over the years I've been meeting artists that are different in their own manner. And I want to, just like, you know, how y'all did now, like I want to show artists in their normal manner, but I wanted to do it my way, whatever it be. I ain't got here yet, so I ain't out. But it's there, it's coming. I don't feel like I have to. I don't got the mental space right now to kind of think about what that is. I'm just more so like, all right, whatever makes sense to note now, I just note it down and that's when it's ready.
Yeah, I like that. I respect that. Hey man, I see you got some beautiful artwork there in the back, man. You want to showcase some of that for the people?
Okay, let me see. Okay, so I don't know if y'all see this.
Oh yeah, we see it.
I put it in the whole frame.
Oh man, that is awesome.
So y'all can see how big it is compared to me.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm in my smaller studio, so I have some pieces that are about 10, 12 feet tall, I have or so. But this is a good size that I paint in now because it still fit in my truck. And I don't got like another thing, as an artist, you need to know that you can't burn a bridge with certain people because things get expensive. And now that, okay, so certain things like this, me being plugged in with certain artists and so forth, things get expensive. Like shipping this piece, I'm in North Carolina, even shipping this to South Carolina, like this, no insurance, whatever, I'm paying anywhere from $300 to probably $1,500. That's just to ship it, to make sure it gets there in one piece. Now, a lot goes with that. Now I have to make a, price, this, that, and third. So you can imagine how much this is selling for if I'm shipping.
Oh yeah.
Some of these artists, I'm gonna try to name them off. But here you have Mr. Charles McGee. He's based out of Detroit too. I haven't did too much research on him yet, but I did him because we just lost him as well. I think 2022 or 23. But he has another type of influence on younger artists with him being an older artist. He has a lot of. I look at how people idolize you and use your style in other ways. Like they made sculptures of his work and so forth. Like he's like look up Charles McGee. You just see a lot. Now this piece here, portrait of Ernie Barnes. I don't know if you know who Ernie Barnes is, but he was a football player, however so. The Sugar Shack. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I remember painting that used to be on Good Times.
Yes.
Paint used to be in the back. If you look at Good Times, Martin, who else? What other sitcom? Like all them sitcoms, they got this artist here. Black artwork, however so. He really like made his own type of character. You know the elongated characters.
Yes, sir. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So here you have this piece. It's Miss Betty Sarr. And I came across her because of I don't know if you can see where she is. Trying to find her. Can't see her. Right here.
Yes.
Miss Aunt Jemima. Like
yes, I see her.
Remember how they used to portray black people as blackface and however so? She was the artist that started painting black people in this form and so forth. But she did it in a way to be like, all right, people gonna talk about you, but your black is beautiful.
Right.
She started a whole series of little black dolls and however so. And I feel like her importance was turning that negative into positive. That we don't so all these artists that I've painted have like, their reasons for why they're important. Like everybody got to play their part. And all I'm doing is just showing these artists around their work so you can kind of read them like a book. Like it ain't like you don't got to read no Stephen King book. You can kind of just read like a one pager and you'll be good. So, and I've just been trying to show that correlation of like where they fit in history, how we got here, why they're important, just the whole nine. And yeah, so and these are just some that I keep in the house. The rest are out because they got chemicals and resin and stuff on them, and I don't really keep them in the house. So I've done several artists, household names, everything. So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like now it's hold on, my back. Hold on. Now it's a lifelong just thing now because it's like, all right, how many pieces of artwork have you seen in life? I can keep going. Like this is a series I can keep going all day. I can always learn something. I can meet new people. I ended up meeting like the owner of Essence magazine. He's like 95 years old. He invited me to his house in Manhattan, New York. Like I've been in people's houses like that, and I'm like dog, how I end up here? Like, but they want to see my artwork just as well as like meet me. So it's like,
yeah,
it's a humbling experience for someone to be, that well off with their career and the things they accomplish, and they just want to meet me because I'm excited. I'm like, dang, I thought you got all y'all excitement in life, but yeah, so it's like, so it gives me more reason to be great. It gives me more reason to be like, oh man, I want to meet you and blah blah blah, and I just like we want to trade respect and all like that's a great feeling. Instead of somebody meeting you like, I don't like you, dog. Like so it's like I like to be on the other end of that where I have a conversation piece. I can have a conversation with someone. It ain't about no bull. And we can kind of just have fun and go off of that. If you want to go into aliens and all that, I got some artwork for that too. Yeah. So it's it just it just molding my life to be that. And I'm just in it now.
Man, you seem to be very commendable guy, bro. I love that I get wonderful people on the show, man. So shouts out to you, and you from the hometown. So, what's some advice, man, you would give to veterans that's trying to use art as a form of therapy?
Start it. Even if you don't know what you're doing, do something.
Yeah.
I've told people to finger paint. It ain't childish. Like how is coloring childish? I've been told that before. That you doing color, you doing childish stuff, but I'm like, I still have an inner child. Like I still got to take care of somebody. That's what I'm doing now. So it's like, well, why are you judging me? Because I'm just trying to be over here like playing with my Legos and stuff and eating crayons and that's it. I like red crayons. They taste the best. So so it's like yeah, I just want to. Okay, so yeah, my advice to just anyone dealing with that is, again, just start it. Even if you got to start small, do something. Even if it's like a little 2x2, color the whole thing in. Don't think nothing about it. Just pick 2 colors, bam, 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 let it dry. Look at it later.
Right.
If you're not agreeing with that, do another one. If you mess up, guess what? You can paint over it. It ain't no mistakes. Like you really can't make no mistakes in painting. That's where abstract came from. Someone that didn't have a clear idea, but they had a feeling. They had something to say. They had something to be like, all right, I got to get this out right now. This is still energy in some form. Yeah. I'm just putting it out there. Bam. Right. Now you helping other people through their eyes and all that stuff. I still ain't figured out how to help deaf people, but I'm getting there. So, I don't know. It just the type of. I've been trying not to cuss. Like I really been trying not to have.
Man, you can cuss if you want to cuss, bro. We grown. It's late night.
But just that general, like, if you can take all of that of people being in your face and spitting in your face and this, that, and third, all that through the military.
Yeah.
Picking up a talent. Picking up a hobby for yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with it. In the meantime, before even outside of artwork, if I see a grown man, whatever case may be, I'd be like, man, go to the hobby store, go buy an RC car or something, go about your business. Like nobody ain't gonna judge you. Like if you ain't bothering nobody, if you happy, you content, this, that, and third, your blood pressure ain't high.
Right.
You don't feel like you just ate some fat back or something. Go get like go. Like it's just one of those. It's like you really gotta talk to people like that. It's like, hey, if you ain't get that first, you gonna get roasted until you like, all right, I'm about to go somewhere and be happy. Like it's like you gotta talk to people, make it a joke, like make it so that it's like it's breaking that ice, but you're letting them know, I still care about you. I still care about you being here. I still care about you, like, smiling. Like I don't like to see people frown. I'll be like, nah, man, well, you got sand in your ass. Like, what's going on? So, I just generally want to see people like, I know you're gonna wake up tomorrow and be happy, just because you seen what happiness feel like, or you got a little bit. So you like, all right, man, I want some more of that. I wake up tomorrow, bam, repeat and rinse. Like it's it. Drink water, change my socks, keep going to this. It just be like that. So that's my advice if I just said any. But my advice is just try it. That's all I can say. Like once you try it, whatever direction you want to go after that, that's just where you're gonna go.
Right. You
might end up, I don't know, you might end up wanting to juggle some paint or something in different. I don't know. So I know a lot of veteran artists now, and they're into professions where they're like I said, like I'm not in the metal, but I have welders in my neighborhood, just guys that I met just off GP because they probably see my vehicle because it's been painted or whatever. They just like, oh man, it's great, blah blah. Let me show you what I do. Bam. We got that connection. Now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna check on you now. Now I know you are sitting, man. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But one of those is like, I know you got something to go to, so you don't have to go out of here or nowhere. So it's one of those I hold them to it.
I respect that. That.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that brotherhood shit. How do you balance your academy pursuit with your artistic career, man? I know you got a lot of hats that you juggling.
Like while I'm in school now, I don't too much plan anything that I have to get on the road long term. Like if it's more than a day trip, I won't do it.
Okay.
Unless I know I don't got no serious homework or however so. But because I'm in my master's program at SCAD, that school is set up in a way where they like, hey, I don't care if you got this amount of work, we got all these openings, we got jobs, we got like you can get an intern with Disney right now and blah. They make it so that you still gonna be doing this regardless. Like you're still gonna be doing it. So it's not a balance anymore. It's just one of those. It's like when you gonna start, like when you gonna balance it. Either way, you're gonna have to do it regardless, or start sometime. So either start to intertwine it now, or start an internship, or however so. But if I got time for it, I got time for it. If I don't, gonna have to wait till next year. I don't know. Oh, do not procrastinate. And I will only say this because I just had a thought. One thing that burned me too, like how you say with school and working this, that, third, and another thing why I got an F, because he was telling me, he's like, all right, think about it. Bam, you got 10 paintings. And I've been here before. You got 10 paintings. You sell 5. Now you got 5. Now you got 3 shows. What you gonna do with that 5? Now you're putting yourself in this, that, and third because you didn't plan right. You didn't do your work right. You don't got nothing in, processing this, that, and third. So it's one of those like procrastination. At any time, I always have about 10, 12 pieces in my house.
I know that's right.
Working on a couple, and then I have some put away somewhere. Now I have collectors that like when we sign a contract, some of them are like, either I pay for this piece now, you can keep it for the next year, travel with it, this, that, and third, whatever. They still got it right. So for I just return it to them after a year. Or it's like I have collectors now. If I have a big show in the future, they'll be willing to send the artwork there on their behalf. They're charged this, that, and third, however so. And it's a lot that you just work out. Like you plan it so that it works for you. I'm only saying this stuff so it's like people put in mind, like as an artist, like people would generally love the fuck out of you. Like I don't know what it is, but it's like a lot of people that I sold artwork to, or like high value collectors and stuff, they're literally like, hey, if you're ever here, if you're ever in Washington or whatever case may be, I got a whole house there that you and your family can stay just because.
Right.
Like, I have a lot of good people, simply because I've either gave them like some free work, or like been like one of those things where I'm like they bought something for their wife that can't be replaced. That's been a big one. Like guys like, oh dog, like you really did me a solid. Like my artist, and it's like, so it's like they always like, bro, I owe you for that. So it's like it's little stuff like you just work out your gift. Like your gift would just make doors open for you and so forth. Like, going through stuff like that. Like I didn't realize little things like me going into like collector's home and so forth. I'm dealing with the husband and the wife. I'm selling a lot to the husband, but the wife, she likes artwork too. And it's like, if I have an artist in my collection that she like, bam, either I just made 2 sales or I just made a happy home. I don't know. I don't know. So it's like it's I've been in those type of situations where it's like you save like the night and so forth. So it's like the things that people pay you back for and they're important to them, like it just comes back tenfold. Like you'll never know what it'd be. You never know what type of favor or what type of connection, and you just never know. So I've always been like, all right, just be an artist, just be a great one. Lord will make a way.
Yeah.
And that's been one of those, like, I've been high and dry before, and then one of my collectors would be like, just call me around and be like, hey, I want to spend this amount of money. I don't even care what it's on. I'm just like, see, want to pay and so forth. So yeah, I think I answered your question.
Yeah, you did. For an artist who may be less educated, let's tell them all the different ways that they can create revenue with art, bro.
That's a good one. Stay within your means. Don't buy material that you're not going to use. Don't buy material that is going to outweigh what you selling stuff for. Put your pride aside. Do the little shows. Meet people. Network. Make sure your name is known out there. Find people with interests and do research on any shows or any type of exhibition before you get there. That's been a big one with me. I've done a lot of big shows, and me thinking big shows, I go into these shows trying to sell these pieces for a lot of artwork, and I don't know the crowd. I mean, a lot of money, and I don't know the crowd. The crowd you might be a nice crowd. You might have 15,000 people come through that show, but nobody's spending more than $50. But you got a piece in there, $10,000. You ain't gonna sell it. You didn't do your research, or you didn't ask around or look into the show. So it's like have a variety of artwork, big, small. What is the word? Convenient. Have a piece that's convenient. Now, if you're on the road, you go into shows where, like when I go to New York, first 2 years, I sold some paintings, but it wasn't consistent. So I was like, dang, what am I missing? It. I started reading the crowd. I'm like, all right, all these people coming in here, blah, blah, blah. I'm in New York. Most people don't got cars. Most people got a small place to live. So what am I doing? I ain't bringing no more big pieces up there. I might bring one. But now I'm bringing stuff that either people can put in their purse, or they can carry home, or they can literally ship it, or whatever case may be, or something that they can put somewhere on their body. I.e., that's when it comes to you making necklaces, you making phone cases, you making refrigerator magnets, you making anything that's accessible that you can sell to someone. They can just put it in their pocket. Bam, spend a little $5, $10, $20. You do that a couple of times. Hey, you make what is it? You make 100. What is it? 10
sales. 10 sales at $10. That's $100.
Mm-hmm. You make $100 a day. How much is that a year? A lot of money. So it's like cut your losses. Work small. This, that, third. Don't overdo yourself. Like I've gotten on the road, did shows. I spent $15,000 in 3 days. I ain't make none of that back. None of it. And I was like, what did I do? Like it was like what? Like what? How to even? So it's like, all right, you have to realize that as an individual, you take all them expenses as well. So it ain't always about selling stuff. Or sometimes it's like I was saying, like I got people now where they understand what I'm going through. So it's like when I'm in their city, they offer me their home. That just saved me a couple hundred, if not a couple $1,000 right then and there, just because I know somebody. So it's like, bam, if I know if I'm staying at their place, I already got a piece waiting on you. Because I already know that's all they want. So I'm like, bam, I got my leverage. I'm like, all right, cool. And that'll be our little trade-off for us. Like, saving money as well. Like I was saying, I didn't think about it until I started doing Art Basel every year. I was going down there, so forth, and then you don't know who's going to be in Art Basel Miami. You don't know what part of the world they come from or whatever case may be. I end up selling a piece in Art Basel while I was in Miami, Florida, and the person lived all the way in Detroit, Michigan. And I was just like, dog, like, and then around that time, I was like driving everything to drop it off because I couldn't afford like shipping this, that, third. End up meeting like these Jamaicans, just shooting shit with them, talking whatever case may be. And I kept seeing this like it was Cool Runnings. I kept seeing this big van, and I'm like, dog, who van is the only big van down there? And I'm like, they got to be moving artwork because I just kept saying he was the only truck that can get through the crowd, whatever the case may be. So I'm sitting here shooting the talking with him and so forth, and we end up exchanging numbers. Told him what I did, this, that, and third, blah blah. Was cool people, and like meeting someone like that ended up like he understood what I was doing, so he used his resources to help me ship some of my bigger and heavier artworks for basically free. He could have charged me what? Nah, I kept because I told him I was gonna pay him back. I probably owe him about $9,500 at least.
He said at least.
Yeah, he would just like he'd ship a piece here and there and this, that, and third, but how he explained it to me, it didn't burn him because he was already shipping bigger art pieces for people, and sometimes he'd just come through this way, he'd pick up a piece for me, this, that, and third. He was like, man, I'm already going that way. I still talk to him like gas money, this, that, third, but he won't charge me full price.
Right.
I'm still considered like a new artist to him because he's seen how, he got an art business now. Like he was telling me how much he was making and this, that, and third. So it was just like little things like that, like just people helping me along the way. And what's another thing? Another way to make money. Stay in your expertise, no matter what that is. I can elaborate on that because I might get into something illegal. I don't know, but like stay within like the people that you know about. You know the demographics, like right. Certain stuff. Like stay within that, and then you have to teach the people you're around how to. I'm not gonna say that. How to make it work. If I say that.
Right.
Another thing, I don't know if you know anything about art history. What have they been doing with art all throughout history? Washing money.
Yes.
It's probably. I think artwork is the only legit thing the IRS is gonna be like. All right, I see what you did there, but I ain't gonna say nothing. Like, how you get that damn money? Like, it's like one of those. But the IRS like knows that artwork is an asset. It appreciates. It's this, that, and third for whatever you bought it for. If that artist keep producing work throughout the years, guess what? That artwork is gonna gain value.
Right.
What can you do with that at that point? That's when you get into insurances, and that's when you get into like all that credit. Like it's stuff that you won't even understand until you have to understand it. Like I can't even explain like that. But it's like I know now I have to start insuring my artwork because it costs so much now, and it's just certain stuff that I want to do with my artwork that it just has to have certain insurances on it now. Right. Making money off artwork is only the beginning of it. You have to, at a certain point, have to start learning how to preserve what you sold it for, how to prove what you sold it for, how to make sure that your collectors over the years are getting their assessments and all that stuff and getting their collections appraised every 3-4 years, and make sure your artwork is included in there. I actually got lucky. I met a guy in DC, and man, he taught me so much in just our conversation. Like I gave him a deal on a piece or whatever. I knew he was eyeballing it. That's why he was over here just talking this that third. So bam, I ended up giving a piece for cheap. Me not knowing who this guy was. We just talking, however. So I mean, he just filling my head up with knowledge. So fast forward probably 2-3 years after that, he called me. He basically like, I got good news, and I'm like, what? I was like, what? He was like, I'm getting my collection appraised. This, that, and third, blah, blah, blah. And we had a conversation where he told me he knew certain people I already worked with. So I called him. I'm like, all right, who is this guy? They're basically like, man, he got a decent sized art like one of those, like, he's very misleading on who he is.
Right.
He has a decent sized like art collection along with certain people that you know. And he ended up getting his piece appraised. I mean, his collection appraised, and one of my pieces was in there. That piece was probably, I think, 12 by 18 inches. And when he got it appraised in his collection, it appraised for about $9,500.
Oof.
So
Okay,
imagine
boy.
what people gonna go for when they get appraised.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like he have a legit collection, like, and that's when I started learning about sister galleries. That's when I started learning about how museums have this network of how they catalog certain artwork and put you in certain things, and they actually watch that stuff too. You might be put on before you even know about any of these people. Like literally, you might, but think about going into a profession like that where these museums are already handling artists' work, where I know some artists now, you literally have to put down like a deposit of like $270,000 just for them to start. Just for them to start. That's a guarantee. Like it's one. It's like, dang, it's like, how you get like it's. I'm seeing all this stuff real time. I'm trying to explain it to other people, but some people don't care. Some people don't. They never even do stuff like that. Like, happen, or people even spend that much money on artwork. But yeah, it's a lot of money out here. Most people that have a lot of money will never tell you.
Right.
Never. They'll never even present themselves like, and never even show. So it's like I've been blessed to be behind a lot of doors that like people were like, open with me. Like I've been in people's houses where they open they safes in front of me, and I'm like, dog, this in your house? Like what the? like crisp. Like I've never seen like a stack of crisp, like hundreds, like crisp. It's smell. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to be like this. Like so, yeah, the world is just what it is. Like yeah. So, and I'm only saying this because it's like the deeper you get into it and you start, like I've met just curators and people who bring artists together where they're like royalty within the city, and it's like, dang, it's like I'm about to be good friends with these people, and I'm like, I'm in there now, a little parlay, it's just it's fun. Yeah. Like it's just fun to even be invited into those type of situations, because it's usually invite only at a certain point. Even these bigger shows and so forth, like the big show that you see is usually invite only, or they find you or however. So, and even then, it gets more expensive as you go. Most shows that I want to do now, they run me anywhere from, like I do a show in New York every year. I got to pay about 15-20 grand to be in that show. But you can turn around and sell a piece for 6 figures because you're in the right setting. So it's like
it's worth it. It's investment.
So it's like looking at the shows that's even bigger than that. Like I've seen shows that it's 40 grand just to get an entry level, whatever. And that you gotta pay that. There ain't no guarantee you gonna sell anything or whatever. You just there.
Yeah.
Stuff that you have to find. I can't even think of the word. People who's willing to
sponsor.
Yeah, sponsor you and so forth. Like there's people out there like that. Like they, like I got some good art family in Detroit where they do, what is that, the Prestige or some show, and I know they pay 80 grand every year to get in that show, but they all split it amongst each other and they put everybody in the show. And I'm like, you know what? That's smart.
Yeah, that's smart. That's how
You
you do it.
might still gotta cough up about 12 grand, but you better play your cards right. And so it's learning how to make money selling your artwork is only good if that's all you want to do.
Mm.
If you
So
want to
so
be
much
good,
more
you
to it.
want to be on another level, this, that, and third, that money, I don't even like it's just you gotta figure it out. You gotta start looking at grants and all that stuff. Like it's a lot out there. Like just find what's for you. Like because I'm doing like historic artists and so I have to look for grants and stuff that support that.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much write a little paper, this, that, third, bam, you got physical proof you're doing something, you in there. And that's the purpose of going back to school, because it teaches you how to write a paper. If you can write a paper, you can make some money.
Yes.
What you want to do is just see you doing something and you can get a grant for that.
That's fine.
Sound like easy money to me.
Sound like easy money to me.
Work smarter, not harder.
Yes, sir. I love it. Hey, man, we could have to wrap this show up. But before we do, man, tell the people where they can find your artwork and your socials and all that stuff. And any
Okay.
events you may have coming.
I'm updating my website, but it's dmathisphere.com. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it's dmathisphere. And let me spell it out. DMATHISPHERE. And that's how you find me. And it's the same for email and all that stuff. So yeah, if you want to contact me, I work with everyone. You make payments, you make whatever, blah, blah. I just want you to be happy and not get on my nerves and while you get your stuff. I probably had one person my whole life tell me that they didn't like what I painted for them. Simply because, and I don't know if this was my fault or theirs, but somebody wanted me to paint the 12 disciples. And somehow I ended up painting like 9 of them or something, and I didn't catch it because I think it was they kept rushing me, and I was like, all right. And how they wanted it. You ever seen like the canvases that's kind of like they get smaller as they go out? Yes. They wanted them like that, but it went from like 3 canvases to 5. So when I did 5, I messed up all my measurements, whoever was whatever, and I never put the other 3 people in there. And I was just like, I didn't think about it. I guess they didn't catch it until they posted it and somebody else said something about it. I offered to fix it, and they're just like, never mind. I was just like, oh, whatever. So, it was one of those. So, but I think that's the only bad time I had someone say something about something that I sold to.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna give the crew time to say something to you before we close out, bro.
All right. I ain't even realize what time it is. My kid's quiet. Oh dang.
Hey, mine too.
I'm all tired.
Hey, man.
Let's say I rewrote the last.
Hey man, shout out to you, bro. Big up to you, man, for coming on here and basically enlightening a lot of us on art, you know, in ways that we really didn't imagine, you know, like the way you was going into depth about, you know, just the knowledge of paint itself. You know what I'm saying? Your craft, bro, like it was astonishing, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I know you know what I'm saying? I know you on a personal level, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I was talking to somebody I ain't even know that. I was like, who is this nigga? Who is this? You know what I mean? But nah, bro, big ups to you, man. Again, I just want to say thank you. You know, shout out to your wife, man. Beautiful family, man. Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
I'm glad.
One thing, huh?
I ain't want to cut you off, but I'm gonna talk about my wife too. So I gotta put her in this. I'm gonna be quick though, but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So with my wife, one thing that I left out is my wife was going through chemo for a couple years. So with that, we got around a lot of doctors, a lot of like medical things. She started doing advocacy work for the National Psoriasis Foundation, lupus, breast cancer, the whole nine. So with that, I learned that artwork is incorporated into the medical field. And I started doing artwork for galas, fundraising, all that stuff. I didn't know that was a whole thing dealing with, tax write-offs, and that's a whole different ball game. But I didn't know that I could raise money just producing something. I don't get the profits, but there's a lot of schools and so forth that I've done work for where I'm just like, all right, if I donate this piece to this school and they sell it, that money could go back to the school. A lot of people don't like to give, but I feel like, all right, if I can help in that manner, bam, it's in there. I don't even care. Like that money, like it'll come back tenfold. I've been blessed enough in life to know that whatever you don't get right now, God gonna look out for you on the back end because He know you did it. Whatever. So artists out there, if you can help in any way, in any type of fundraising and so forth, or raising money for gala type things, you in there, you'll be blessed for it. So yeah, that's what I want to say. So yeah, and my wife got me into that too. So I'm thankful that she did that.
Hey,
Shouts out to the wife.
Oh yeah.
Hey, happy wife, happy life. Real shit.
But yeah, man, like I was
I'm
saying,
good,
man.
bro. You got it, Montana.
No, I was just saying, like I was saying, man. Just thank you for coming on, man. And
Yeah, appreciate it.
shout out to you, bro. You did the big one with that one. Go ahead, VU.
Yeah, bro, I'm not easily inspired, bro, but like you just like you just inspired me a lot. Like, and I'm not easily taken over from no one, but you inspired me a lot. Keep going, Dr. Mathis. Yeah. You go get that. And we go get there, and then keep doing what you're doing, like consistency. Just be consistent in what you're doing, and then you're gonna be, hey, you got it. That's it, bro. You got it, man.
Appreciate you.
Keep being the mad artist.
Lady Albert, you got something to say today before we get him up out of here?
Yes, again, phenomenal work. You're doing phenomenal story you have in your journey of overcoming what you've experienced. And I believe if there's another award, because you didn't get the Purple Heart yet, but if there's another one, and I don't know, have you been to the White House yet?
No, not directly, no.
I believe that's what's going to happen. You're going to get to the White House. You're going to get recognition as a veteran, get the Purple Heart or whatever other awards they would have to give someone like you. And because of your artwork, you're a good example for veterans. Yes. And thank you so much. And may you continue to press forward in your journey. Blessings to you. It's awesome.
Thank you for your kind words.
You're welcome.
Yes. Man, Dame, man, you have been an inspiration to all of us. You have been a pleasure to be here. We thank you for being very informative. Finally, is it a message that you want to leave our listeners with tonight about the power of art and the transformation of lives?
A message that I want to leave, do what you love and love what you do at all times. And that shall always make sense when you're doing that. Other than that, I'm going to keep it that simple and always push yourself. whether
Yes.
it's uncomfortable or whether it's just in a realm where you didn't even know you was gonna go in there.
Say
Hey,
so.
sometimes you gotta jump somewhere and jump back out. Like it's, I just feel like, I guess at this point in my life now, experience is better than most things in life. Like just being in that moment and experiencing that I tried something new or I failed at something. That's a good experience too from my F. So, yeah, just try something. You never know. You never know what you learning will change the world. Most of these artists, they try something new.
Right.
That's why they predominantly, in history now. So yeah, whatever that crazy idea is, hey, go for it, follow it, stalk it. I don't know, do what you need to do. But yeah, just be whatever your mind wants you to be. Like get on your dream nerves. Like just get on. Like, all right, what we
Get
doing
on
next?
your dream nerves. I
Yeah,
love that.
get on his nerves. So,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
just stick to it. Like, yeah.
Y'all heard him, folks. Dang, man, we're not gonna hold you no more, brother, man. Anytime you want to come back and showcase something, man. Anytime you got an event that you want to bring an awareness to, or anything like that, bro. Hey, Art for Change is your home, baby.
Oh yeah. I'll have something put together because I want to start bringing other artists on too that are
Yes, yeah,
artistly shy. I don't know why we
yeah,
like, but
yes,
must
bro.
put
We
them
want to. We need all the artists, any
out.
spectrum of art. So yeah, send them this way, brother, for sure,
All right.
for sure, for sure. All right, man. We're gonna get you out of here, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we finna wrap this show up tonight. Dane was with us, man. It's been a pleasure. All you art enthusiasts and change makers, I hope that you has been inspired by our future artist who is going to be a multi-millionaire and is going to be a household name in the art world, if he is not already, for most people who know who art is. You know what I mean? So without further ado, man, peace and love. Hey, before we get up out of here, do anybody else got a closing statement? Y'all want got something positive for the people before we wrap up? Go ahead, Lady Alva, you got it.
It is better to express your gift. It will give you a lift and help you spring into your bliss. It's a win-win. You can't miss.
Ooh, I love it.
Ooh, got them bars.
Yeah.
Bars.
Bars.
Montana,
I'm
you got a
telling
closing statement for the people?
Yeah, man. Hey.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Man, only thing I gotta say for the people, man, the sky ain't the limit. I don't care what you heard. The sky ain't the limit, man. You can achieve anything if you believe, man. So I mean, I feel like bro testimony should really
Yes.
should
Yes.
really told you something right then and there. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
I known this man since I was a little kid. I didn't even know about him getting blown up. You know what I mean? Not to bring that up, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I appreciate him
Yeah.
for that, man. And hey, man, it was a great show. That's all I really got to say for the people, man. That was a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
show.
Yeah, man. You better like and subscribe for Art for Change, man. You never know who's gonna be on here. Man, Heather, what you got for the people, baby?
Thanks for tuning in tonight, and stay tuned in. You never know who may be coming around the corner.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's right.
BU, what you got for the people, man?
Yeah. Great dude. He made me realize a lot of points. Like we had an amazing show. I don't know, bro. Like dude was fire, and it's like yo, you never know what somebody's going through.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or what somebody's been through
Yes.
by looking at them.
Yes. Dame is
Yeah,
a prime
'cause
example of if I don't look like what I've been through.
yes, exactly what I was about to say. So yeah, so you can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. Real rap. And with that being said, people, be positive. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say it at all. And until next time, you better continue to art for change. Yeah, man. Be blessed. Be too bitch to be stressed. Peace and love. Hey, and we out here.